So top CUNT mate from the UK says, hey, Roger, when was the moment you realized you were on the Trump train? Thanks for being here, by the way.
Well, let's see. That's a really early date. In 1988, I wanted Donald Trump to run for president. I had met him in 1979 when I went to New York and was assigned to organize Governor Ronald Reagan's campaign for president in the Empire State. Now, as you can imagine, the financial and social and political elite of New York were all on board for George H.W. Bush or John Connally. But very early in the process, I was introduced to Donald Trump and his father, Fred Trump, who was a New York developer and a very great man, personal friend of Barry Goldwater's, a major financier of the Goldwater campaign in 1964. As soon as I met Donald Trump, I said, wow, here's a guy with the size and the vision and the guts and the courage to run for president. So I arranged for him to address the Portsmouth, New Hampshire Chamber of Commerce. We flew up there in his black helicopter. Normally, the Chamber of Commerce had 400 or 500 people turn out for their events. 1,200 people showed up for Donald Trump. It was a sellout, and it was a smash. And you know what he talked about? The same exact things he talks about today. American sovereignty, the lousy trade deals that we've signed that are screwing this country and destroying our job market. The fact that our NATO partners are ripping us off, that we pay for their defense, even though they are today richer than we are. So he spoke even then about a stronger, more resolute America, an America that was a nationalist country behind American values, not globalist values. In 2000, I tried once again to get him to run for president. He had met both Al Gore and George W. Bush. He, like me, was unimpressed. And I seriously tried to convince him to seek the Reform Party nomination. Because you see, although I have been a Republican most of my life, also spent some time in the Libertarian Party, philosophy is more important to me than party. I'm a conservative first. I'm an American first. I'm a conservative second. And I am a libertarian third. And in all honesty, I'm a party member fourth. Trump is bigger than the Republican Party. That's what the Never Trump crowd doesn't get. This reform movement is much bigger than the Republican Party will ever be. But the good news is for the Republicans we can now attract people who otherwise wouldn't be caught dead at a Republican gathering because it's too damn boring. Folks who have no interest in going to our country clubs. So I'm proud to be an early member of the Trump train. And I have no doubt whatsoever it's going to be the next president of the United States.
Well, that's an incredible pedigree, especially in light of where we are today. So thank you for, for starting that so many years ago. Sir Coffee asks, Mr. Stone, why would Bernie Sanders willingly trust the DNC without legally binding them to their promises to compromise with him? Do you believe that he would be better off trying to continue his political revolution by backing Jill Stein?
Well, I'd like to see that. Look, I underestimated Bernie Sanders from the beginning of this race. And I made some online jokes about the fact that he spent his honeymoon in the Soviet Union. And if you scratched him, he was probably not a socialist, but a communist. It was interesting to me when asked point blank if he had any criticism of the Cuban regime, which has murdered a number of my wife's relatives, or the Sandinistas. He ducked the question. He said he had his personal views, but he didn't want to disclose them. That said, he's run a great race against Hillary in terms of the amount of money that he has raised. But frankly, I think he got to the issues of her integrity too late. Should have hit her on those issues earlier. And the sad truth is, when it comes to war, when it comes to trade, he has more in common with Donald Trump than he does with Hillary Clinton or the globalist-controlled Democratic Party. So I think Bernie is being taken for a ride. I think as soon as that convention is over and he's issued his endorsement of Hillary Clinton, you won't see or hear much of him after that. If he was a man of principle, he would endorse Jill Stein. At least all the socialists would be in one camp.
Well, that's some good insight there, and I agree too. I mean, if he's going to be ideologically pure, I don't see at all whatsoever how he could support Hillary. It just the cognitive dissonance there is just overwhelming.
Well, and the other thing I have to say is, Bernie, please get a haircut. The Doc Brown look, just not working.